guys, this is Rich and welcome to another episode of A Diver's Life. My wife and I moved to Bonaire roughly 3 years ago. This involved a lot of preparation. The question we get quite a lot is how to choose and prepare a car for living and diving on an island. Today I'm going to answer those questions. Let's start with choosing a vehicle. First, pick a car brand that can be serviced on the island. You now live in a harsh environment, so expect the car to break down. On Bonaire, the three main cars that are sold here are Ford, Toyota, and Kia. Each island may be different, but for Bonaire, these are the guys. Second, pick a car that can handle the roads and what you want to do on the island. You want one that can handle your off-road adventures. After all, if you chose this lifestyle, you're an explorer. You don't want to just go to the marked dive sites. On many islands like Bonaire, funding for roads is limited and they are often in disrepair or non-existent. If you are diving and want to get to some remote dive site, you don't want anything that is low to the ground and has a weak suspension. Don't bring your Prius or your Corvette Stingray. We might lose you in a pothole, or you might wonder where your suspension disappeared. Third, don't just ship a car just because you have one. One friend was considering moving to the island and stated they had a paid-for 2012 BMW. Servicing it will be a nightmare. It is probably not Caribbean island strong, and it is too low to the ground. I don't believe our national park will even allow you to bring it in. They don't want to have to haul you out. A pickup truck checks all the boxes, but unless you have a business that requires it, don't get a big one. Islands are small, and so the parking spots need to be maximized. Consequently, they are small, making it challenging to park. So get a smaller pickup. I prefer to bring a pickup, but an SUV or Jeep with a good suspension that is not low to the ground and has a place to haul tanks would work too. Choose the right one to bring. Think about the fuel costs. Unless you are hauling a boat or have an island with mountains, think about getting a 4-cylinder vehicle. Gasoline is expensive. Currently, we are at over $5 a gallon for gas. You may opt for a diesel engine for fuel efficiency. On some islands like Bonaire, the road tax is 4 times that of a gasoline car because they generate more pollutants, and the government may wish to discourage their use. We opted for gasoline. Another question people ask is whether to bring a car or buy one on the island. One advantage to bringing one is that even though the brand can be serviced on the island, the model is not sold here. Cars that are sold here are often stripped for parts. If you have a car that is serviceable on the island, yet there are not a lot of them on the island, the market for your car parts is limited, and people are more apt to move on to the next vehicle. We have a Toyota Tacoma, and they sell mostly Toyota Helixes on the island. In fact, we may be the only 2014 Tacoma on the island. So far, the car is intact. Another concern we've heard is related to bringing a car versus shipping one is the cost of shipping a new car. Bringing a new car is not necessarily less expensive than buying a new car on the island. You will have import duties. When we moved to Bonaire, if your car was owned for less than 6 months, you had a 25% import duty. Beyond the 6 months, the tax was 8%. Also, keep in mind that any new car you purchase will already have the tax factored into the sales price. Also consider the quality of the vehicle. Many vehicles sold on the island may not live up to the standards required from the country you are coming from. The suspensions on cars sold on the island may not be as good as the country you are coming from. The same goes for the rust protection. A Toyota Helix is commonly sold on Bonaire, but its counterpart, the Toyota Tacoma from the US, is a much beefier suspension. So now let's talk about car preparation. If you like music, choose a car or a car radio with a Bluetooth music capability to play your preferred songs on your phone. Wires corrode and wear out quickly when you live by the sea. If you buy a pickup, get one with a non-metal bed. They don't rust. Now about decking your car for an island diver lifestyle. You are moving to a salty environment and you can be assured to get corrosion, especially if you are a diver driving up to shore dive sites every day and pulling salty scuba gear in and out. Get your car undercoated, and when you do, find out where emergency and police services get their vehicles undercoated. Go there. After you arrive, you should get your car re-undercoated every 2 years. Let me take you around the car and show you the other modifications we made. Install a backup camera. Islands are small and so are the parking spaces. It will save you a lot of aggravation. This is a bed liner. Install a truck bed liner to protect the bed from things banging around like tanks. Install locking lug nuts and locking gas caps to discourage theft. The harder you make it to steal your tires or fuel, the less likely it will be for that to happen. These here have a locking lug nut. You can probably see it here. And essentially what it is you have a special adapter that is needed to be able to open that particular lug nut. And it is unlikely that the person looking to take your tire will have that with them. So again, it discourages people from taking your tires. One of the things that happens is the screws that they use to hold your license plate on are not rust resistant, and they rust out in a year. So we ended up having to replace ours with stainless steel versions of this, and they do make them for many of the cars. So we ordered these and we put them on, and you can see there's still no rust and they're not falling out of the car. Get waterproof floor mats to keep water out. We use these WeatherTech floor mats. They are laser fit to exactly fit your car and stop salt water from getting into the carpet and then down onto the metal. To clean them, you just power wash or hose them out. Easy to do. Get PVC seat covers. They are really nice and prevent salt water from your wetsuit or dive skin from leaking into your chair. They're very easy to clean off as well. And they look like leather. If you have a truck tailgate, bring spare screws and extras to replace the older ones. This one here is about ready to be replaced. This one I replaced earlier. It's brand new. You just screw it back in and you're off and running again. Install a washable, reusable air filter like this KR filter. This one will last 2 years. You get a lot of salt and dust on the island. Reusable air filters will save you a lot of money and help protect your engine in the long run. Last but not least, if your car was shipped to the island, make sure that when it arrives, your battery cable connection is tight. When your car is shipped, they remove the ground cable so that your battery is not drained during shipping. When it arrives, they'll reconnect it, but in our case, they forgot to tighten it, and in a week, due to jostling on the island, we had a bad connection and the car wouldn't start. So just make sure that your ground connection is tightened when you receive the car. Well, I hope that gives you some ideas of how to choose and prepare a car for coming to an island. We've had our car now for 2.5 years. It's got some rust here and there on it, but it's in really good shape. And thankfully nothing major has been removed from the vehicle other than a set of jumper cables. You know, it's been a really great choice that we've had. But again, you know, preparation makes a big difference. So all the best to you, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like it and hit the subscribe button to see more on this channel.